Right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Introduce myself. My name is Afis Kasifa. On this occasion, I will discuss about mental health of children and adolescents. And so, before discuss, before we discuss further, there are several that I will discuss here. The first is what is mental health. Second, getting to know the history of mental health development. Then mental health continuum, mental health in children and adolescents. And next, early indications that lead to mental health disorders. And the last one is effort to provide mental health supports. So to not prolongs the time, let's just discuss the first one, namely the meaning of mental health. Health, according to the World Health Organizations, WHO, is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Mental health is a condition in which individuals have physical well-being who are able to realize their own potential, have the ability to cope with the normal stresses of life in various situations in life, are able to work productively and are able to contribute to their community. Quoting from the jargon used by WHO, there is no health without mental health, indicates that mental health needs to be seen as something as important as physical health. Recognizing that health is a state of balance within self, other and the environments help society and individuals understand how to maintain and improve it. So our second discussion is getting to know the history of mental health development. Before the Middle Age, mental health was often associated with supernatural powers, spirits, witchcraft, and the likes. Therefore, if there is a mental health disorder in an individual, then the treatment is carried out with certain ritual ceremonies of treatments so that the evil spirit in the individual's body can come out. Along with the development of the time and the emergence of figures in the medical field in Greece such as Hippocrates, the concept of mental health began to use the biological concept, which assumes that mental disorders occur because of a person's biological conditions. The treatment for these disorders has become more human. Hippocrates and his Greek and Roman physicians then emphasized the importance of a pleasant environment, exercise, proper diet, and relaxing habits to treat mental health disorders. In the late Middle Age, many cities built a mental hospital to treat people with mental disorders. This mental hospital is set up like a prison. People are chained, in dark, dirty cells, and treated like animals. And the beginning of the 20th century, the fields of medicine and psychology has rapid progress. More and more mental hospitals are being built to deal with mental health problems. Psychiatrists have started to provide therapeutic activities such as individual and group therapy, skills therapy, as well as providing educational courses to help patients who have been discharged from the hospital to function normally in daily life. Even so, people still don't understand what mental illness is and think that mental hospitals are scary places. Currently, there are many institutions in the form of hospitals, government agencies, and even international organizations such as WHO that are aggressively raising public awareness and providing treatment for mental health. But mental health day has also been established, which is celebrated every October 10th. Next, our discussion is mental health continuum. Mental health has a continuum relationships. Mental health and mental illness are determined by various biological, physiological, and social factors, such as health and illness in general. If viewed from the continuum, mental health that is not considered can develop into mental illness as follow. Positive mental health. Individuals who are mentally healthy or have positive mental health are able to deal with various situations in life and can adapt well. Individuals show well-being and feels happiness. One of the characteristics of a mentally healthy individual is having resilience. Mental health problem interfere with the way a person thinks, feels, and behaves. The difference is the level of disturbance is lower than mental illness. Mental health problems are more common and can be experienced temporarily as a reaction to life stresses. Mental health problems are indeed milder than mental illness, but this problem may develop into a mental illness if not treated effectively. Mental health problems can arise from various aspects, such as emotions, behavior, attentions, and self-regulations. Experiencing violence in childhood, feeling alienated from the environment, losing a loved one, prolonged stress, losing a job, drug abuse are some example of factors that can trigger a person to have mental health problems. Self-care techniques and lifestyle change can generally help manage symptoms of mental health problems and have the possibility of preventing some problems from getting worse. Seeking support from a friend, maintaining physical health, and doing various activities that are good for mental health are some of the actions that can be taken to overcome mental health problems. And mental illness is a healthy condition that involves changes in emotions, thinking, or behavior. Mental illness is associated with difficulties and or problems that interfere with functioning in social, work, or family activities. That is, people who have mental illness significantly affect the way they feel, think, behave, and interact with others. Mental illness is not something to be ashamed of but a medical condition, just like heart disease or diabetes. Mental illness is curable and experts in the field continue to broaden understandings and develop treatments to help people with mental health conditions return to function in their daily life. Mental illness can take the forms of which only interferes with the functioning of daily life, but there are also mental illness that are so severe that they require hospitalization. Some forms of mental illness are schizophrenia, anxiety disorders, mood disorders, and personality disorders. And then mental health in children and adolescents. WHO reports that 450 million people worldwide have mental health disorders, with a prevalence of 20% occurring in children, with the incidence increasing every year. Expanding knowledge related to mental health in children and adolescents is important. Mental health of children and adolescents can affect their future as individuals and have an impact on families to society. Therefore, This concern is growing for both health institutions and academics researchers. Understanding mental health in children and adolescents means that it is also necessary to understand what factor can endanger mental health and what factor can protect children's mental health. A risk factor raise the possibility of vulnerability in children, while protective factors create possible strengths in children. The more risk factor, the greater the pressure on the child. On the other hand, the more protective factors, the more likely the child will be able to avoid being disturbed. And children who have mental health have characteristics that we can observe from their development process. Uh, Positive it's a biological process. A biological process in children involves physical changes in the child's body. The developments of body functions such as sexual function will affect the behavior and development of children. Some examples are genes inherited from parents, brain development, height and weight gains, advances in motor skills, and hormonal changes. And cognitive process involve changes in an individual's way of thinking and one's intelligence. This process is closely related to brain development. Children who are mentally healthy and have adequate cognitive development treat a willingness to learn new things around them, have creativity, and develop their language skills. This process then develops to the child ability to be able to distinguish things that are considered right and wrong, memorize, solve simple problems, choose and make decisions and control himself. And socio-emotional process. Socio-emotional process involves changes in emotions, personality, relationships with other people, and the social environment. A well-developed social emotional process enables children to be able to recognize, differentiate, manage, and express emotions appropriately. As children develop, they need to become aware of other people and try to develop empathy for others. Next, early indications that lead to mental health disorders. Mental health problems of children and adolescents can be observed from problems at the developmental stage in three major areas, namely areas of emotions, behavior, and development. Correct? I will explain one by one. Emotions, talking about emotion is closely related to the ability to assess and be aware of the emotions you have, to distinguish the emotions you feel, to manage your emotions, and to express your emotions. Children who always feel sad, easily depressive, and feel less happy have the possibility of experiencing mental health problems. They will have a lot of worries and anxieties that make children not dare to explore. When expressing their emotions, children prefer to cry excessively, shoot excessively to or experience tantrum. Children need to be introduced and guided to be able to understand and express their emotions in an appropriate way. And behavior, in observing behavior problems in children, it is important to remember the process of forming behavior based on a behavioristic approach. This approach has the principle that behavior disorder occur because of wrong learning experiences. Wrong learning here has two meanings, namely children learn correctly example of bad behavior, or children learn wrong example of good behavior. The presence of behavioral problems in children can be detected from the activities they do every day, such as sleeping, eating, and playing activities. Some examples are children who always find it difficult to wake up, have trouble sleeping patterns, have eating disorders, lie and easily blame others for their mistakes, and breaking rules can be an indication of a problem. And development, the existence of developmental problems is closely related to the stage of child development. Some development-related problems can be seen from the cognitive and attentional factors. Cognitive factors are related to intelligence problems and learning difficulties. Attention is the focus of mental resources. Attention improves cognitive processing for many tasks, from reaching for a toy to hitting a ball to dancing. Children have a limited attention span, meaning only a limited amount of information is able to pay attention to them. Attention will develop along with the child's age and activities. A child's difficulty focusing on text, a child who is restless can stay still easy, distracted, are indications of mental health problem. And next, our discussion is efforts to provide mental health support. Efforts to provide supports for mental health can be done in two ways, namely promotions, preventions, and interventions. Designing efforts to support mental health also needs to be done systematically and involves various parties, ranging from parents, families, teachers or schools, communities, and the governments. Mental health promotions aims to promote positive mental health. The way that can be done by increasing psychological well-being, competence, human resilience, as well as creating conditions and a supportive living environments. Mental health preventions focus on reducing risk factors and increasing productive factors associated with mental health, early detection, and introducing how to deal with maladaptive behavior in families and communities are often the focus of preventive actions. Interventions are commonly used to describe a variety of actions that are intended to provide healing or improve adjustment. Intervention can also be carried out on each party, such as individual interventions, family-based interventions, school-based intervention, and community-based interventions. Individual intervention usually takes the forms of counseling or psychotherapy. Psychotherapy also has many types depending on the approach to be used, such as behavioral therapy, cognitive therapy, humanistic therapy, and psychodynamics therapy. In selecting and designing appropriate interventions, we need to have some considerations such as what symptoms are present and how severe are the symptoms and how much these symptoms cause distress and affect daily life and understanding of the rights and benefits of these interventions for individuals and personality factors and other individual needs also needs to be taken into account. That's it. I can present on these occasions. If you have question or give suggestion and comment, feel free. Any question, guys?
Afi, I
Yeah,
have I have give two suggestion on your presentation.
Alright, please, Pia.
Sorry, I would like to comment on your presentation. The presentation is a clear and a good topic because this topic is very constructive and provides benefit for both positive and negative impacts on mental health in children and adolescents. So I know how to take care of the mental health of children and adolescents. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Pia, for your comment. How about other?
Api, I have a question.
Yauli, please.
Okay, previously you explained that there are three continuum of mental health, right? Positive mental health problem, and mental illness. My question is, what are the example and impact of negative mental health? Thank you.
Right, thank you, Uli. Okay, I will answer from the question from Uli. To be honest, I'm not so sure about my answers, but I can try. I think an example of mental health is like being stressed with the problems they are facing but not finding the likes of the problem itself. And while the negative impact that can occur by people with mental health in that sufferer can take actions beyond their control, such as suicide, hurting themselves and others. Was my answer is it clearly?
Yes, Api, it's clear. I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys, feel free if you have questions or suggestions.
Me, Afi?
That's Winda.
Well, I'm Winda Plastika. I will critique Afi presentation. I think the material present for today's discussion is very good and useful for us prospective teacher and mother to be to learn and know more about children mental health. And today material is very educational. I think that's yeah.
All right, thank you, Winda.
All right.
All right, it seems that everything is clear and there is nothing more to ask. So we will conclude these presentations. Before I close this presentation, the conclusions that I can draw from the discussion of mental health of children and adolescents is that mental health involves more than medical problems. Many factors influence this, such as socioeconomic factors. Mental health problems can arise in areas ranging from individual domains such as substance abuse, crime, violence, loss productivity to suicide. Mental health in children and adolescents also involves their capacity to develop in various fields such as biological, cognitive, and socio-emotional. Smith et al. 2007. Therefore, it is important for us to understand the stage of development in an effort to see an indications of problems in the development of children and adolescents. Thank you for your questions and suggestions, and also for your participation during the participants. Sorry if there are some mistakes during the presentations. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.